project, but HUD came back and requested that we submit a second project, which would split off the Willowbrook project. The original application for Mar Vista is still going to be in place and processed, but now a second application for Willowbrook would be initiated. And by separating the applications, it puts us in a category for our projects of what's considered by HUD to be the very small housing authority category. And then that essentially, the intent with doing that is that it should set us up to be able to do the RAD conversion a little bit easier, streamlined, and hopefully easier and quicker usually means a little bit cheaper and everything too. So HUD has come back and they've suggested we go that way. So we brought back the resolutions to authorize us to move forward in that way and essentially split those two out as two separate projects as defined by HUD. And so we are recommending today that the council adopt two resolutions to do that. Both projects will still be moving forward through RAD. They'll just be moving forward as two separate projects under HUD's definitions. And then just as a reminder, I know it's maybe a little bit more background than needed, but the rental assistance demonstration projects in a nutshell, since we throw a lot of acronyms around, the point with that is, and we've learned more about it, we keep working with all the housing authorities and we're all talking about it. And really, I think in a nutshell, it's the future of public housing and what HUD is going to be looking to do with each city and with each agency is creating these programs that give the cities a little bit more ability to raise funding and take that funding and put it into remodeling projects and things like that, because HUD's just not, they're not going to be able to keep funding it forever. When HUD started the RAD programs, they said that they estimated that there was a $115 billion worth of backlogged projects that they just don't have the funding for and don't anticipate having the funding for. So this is really like that new push to give cities more tools to be able to do it themselves so that we're not all as dependent on HUD funding as we have been in the past. So, so this is just the next step in that process. I will ask our housing and facilities director, Gabby Basua, if I missed anything, and she is giving a thumbs up for anybody that can't see that. And so we're happy to answer any questions.
Okay, so the board have any questions for staff at this time?
I got one question.
Okay, Mr.
Okay, and
Brown.
it's probably been answered. Are our rents gonna go up eventually
Director Basua?
because of this?
Good afternoon, everybody. No, rents will not be going up. So,
Thank you.
They will not be going up because of this.
no, yes,
Correct.
because of the project base. We're going to be going from public housing to project-based vouchers.
Right.
So no, there will be no change in rents.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
I do have one question. So on pages 8 and 9, some financial information was provided. And as part of my reading, I had no idea what this is trying to tell me.
I know.
So can you help me understand what that's trying to tell us?
Yes. So basically, I'm going to go to that. So this is basically what we anticipate that we are going to be getting from going to this conversion. And this, again, even though it says Mar Vista, you've got to recall that right now, the way the portfolio is set up, it's one property. So in the eyes of HUD, Mar Vista consists of the Mar Vista Apartments and the Wainimi Village official title, which we know as Willowbrook. So this, though, this pro forma, though, is only for Willowbrook. So this application is only for Willowbrook. So we're saying that we're going to be generating $1.2 million a year in revenue once we go to this new platform. And then it goes on and, you know, it tells us about our property tax, our real estate tax, our administrative fees. what they anticipate our operating expenses altogether would be, and the cash flow that we should be having.
So you said the revenue would be 1.2.
The gross income would be 1.2
So what's
at a
the-
minimum.
okay, what's the difference between currently and under this project? I'm not talking numbers. I'm just talking it. Did we have an income, or
No.
are we, it's a break even?
Right, so
process?
that is a very, very good question. So to answer your question is, no, we've never had revenue come in. So every year we report to HUD what our expenses are, including our utility expenses. We never have enough money to operate. So what HUD does is they take our reports and they make us whole at the end of the year. We never have anything in reserves. So what they do is they give us what they call the capital grant. And that is in forms of anywhere between 100,000 to 150,000 a year. And that is supposed to help us operate internally, but we're also supposed to put in that money to repair both properties, which, as you can imagine, it's not a lot of money.
And
I thought I didn't have a question, but now I have a question. So then there is a second project that will be coming at a future meeting, I imagine, for Mar Vista?
No. So if you recall, when we first did this, we brought one application, two projects. That one application is now just for Mar Vista.
So Mar Vista already kicked
Already is
forward.
there.
It's just that the Willowbrook portion now is,
Has to be separated.
HUD asked us to
Yes.
separate that, so that's why that's coming forward now.
And we completed all the Mar Vista project, like the windows, the doors.
We completed the windows, the doors. The transaction has not closed. We are waiting for authorization from HUD, hopefully within the next month, to enter into escrow in order to put these properties in a transaction where they will be handed over to the nonprofit organization.
Understood.
And if I could just add that, and the intent with the whole RAD project is that then with that $200,000 of income, that money then goes right back into the units or in services you provide to the residents. So it's really intended to make sure we're either able to continue offering the housing and making sure that we're maintaining it and all of that, or that we're providing services that benefit the residents. So there is no real, at the end of the day, it's not just raising money for the city to spend on other things. It's specifically for housing and serving housing, which
Right.
just to go back to is HUD doesn't have that extra money to make us whole anymore. The days of that happening are coming to an end, I think. So-
Yes, and the money that is going to be generated from this is supposed to be going and back to the community, back to the residents in order to support programs that enhance their lives. So we can be bringing in computer training, different kinds of things with the money that we're going to be getting. It's going to enhance the lives of the residents that live in these properties.
So to sum it up, this is a nonprofit for the sole purpose of providing housing for the people in our housing authority and services necessary for them. And the money that's generated goes right back into the community, and it's not for profit. Okay, that's
That is correct. It is not for profit.
any further questions for Ms. Basua?
Well, yeah, it did. Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
so then the recommendation, are there any public comments on this item?
No public comment.
Thank you. So the recommendation is to adopt a resolution entitled, "A Resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Port Hueneme, California, approving the financing plan submission for RAD Section 18 Small PHA Blend Conversion," and to adopt a resolution entitled, "A Resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Port Hueneme, California, authorizing submission to HUD 18 disposition application." May I have a motion and a second?
Do we need two motions or one motion will cover both?
No, this is all in one. We're wanting to do both.
One
items.
motion.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion before we move to vote?
No.
Not seeing any. Madam Clerk, we please take a vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, hearing none, motion passes unanimously with members Hernandez and Martinez absent.
Thank you. So we will now move on to authority member reports, comments, and requests for future agenda items. Do any member have a request for a comment, a request for a future agenda item, or a report to give? Okay, not seeing any. We'll move to adjournment. The Port Hueneme Housing Authority will adjourn to its next regular meeting scheduled for September 3rd, 2024 at 6:30 PM. The time is now 5:13. Thank you.
Thank you.